pick up where we stopped last time. We have now set up our probe scanning windows, and we set up our directional scanner, which we can click now and see who's in system. What we're going to do is we're literally going to quickly touch on scanning. This is not going to be the full tutorial. You can watch my previous videos on scanning to scan like a pro. I will link it in the description. You can look through the whole video, and if you struggle with something, I've broken that video up in little segments or small bits so you can focus on something specifically. This one, we're literally just going to focus on scanning, but we're not going to do all this, the different types of things you can get. You can watch the big video to see that, and there's plenty of time. It's quite a long one to watch, but that will get you used to what to look for and what to do. Right, for all probe scanners, we want to drop our probes. We want to set our probes to 4 AU. Now the general rule of thumb is all 6 is within a 4 AU scan from a orbital body. So planet, the moon, the sun, anything in system that makes up the system is what we're looking for. Right, now first of all, I'm gonna change my formation back to what it should be, and we're going to click on the sun. So if you want to have, if I want to look at that SIG, I can click on it and it will move it to the middle of my screen. I don't need that yet because we haven't got it scanned far enough. So we're going to start on the sun. So I'm going to click on the sun and I'm going to move my square right so it sits center with the sun. I'm going to double click on my mouse button. That's the left mouse button. And I can see I'm way below the sun, so I'm going to move that up. And I click the top again, and I can readjust. And if I want to look from the side, I can double click again the left mouse button, and that will give me this quick flip between up and view from the top and view from the side. Now the reason I use this is all about speed. It's all about as little effort as possible. Especially when you get to a point where you start doing combat scanning, especially if you're an FC, this is your bread and butter to get targets and to get content. Is speed. Also, when you live in a wormhole and you want to close wormholes, you want to get there first before the enemy gets there to take whole control. You want to do it as efficiently and as fast as possible, and I find that to use this double click method to center my probes is the quickest. Right, now that we've centered, we make sure we are on 4 AU. The probe size is here on the side. You'll see there that you can change the size. We're going to change that to 4 AU, and we're going to hit the B key on our keyboard, or we're going to hit the analyze button on the side there, and they will then send our probes there, and they will then try and find that object or that SIG. Right, so we have now found that SIG, so we can finish it by now clicking on the SIG itself, and we move our probes from the top and center them. We can actually zoom in a bit because we got such a good scan there that we center it on there. We make sure we center it on there, and right, we're then going to change our probe size to 2 AU and then scan it again. So you can either hit the B key or you can hit the analyze button like I just did, and that will get you scanning. Right, now we've scanned that signature. It's now been scanned 100%, which excuse me, the whole reason why we scan these things is if I click on that, it doesn't give me an option to warp there. If I now click on that, it gives me an option to warp there. So this is a way to find something that enables you to actually warp to that specific thing. So this is a combat site, we won't warp to this one. We'll scan down the other one and just see what that is. So again, we're now going to reset. So we're going to reset back to 4 AU. The probe size back to 4 AU. We're now going to we'll click on that and see where it goes. we can see that it did not populate for us from the sun, so we can, in theory, center on planet 6. And I don't think it's on planet 6, but let's just do it for argument's sake. And we're back on 4AU, we centered on planet 6, we can see we centered, or sort of centered, that's fine, that's close enough when we're this far out. And we'll run the scan again. So again, our probes will move, we'll soon know if we got something or we don't. And we don't. So, which then means that we are on the wrong orbital body. We really want to be on there, I think. So we're going to move our probes across, center them nicely, again. On there you can zoom in to be more accurate, but this takes more time. This is, to zoom in is better when you start getting below 2AU. When you scan above 2AU, it's not such a big thing. Right. So we're going to analyze this one and hopefully we get it. Now, normally these signatures is within a 4AU scan. From an orbital body, 99.99999% of the time they will be within an orbital body, but sometimes they will not be. So what you have to do is you'll have to go to 8AU like we do now, and we'll scan it again. It might be that I was sitting on planet 5 and our probes was just out of reach. So there we go. So we're going to work our way back to over here. Actually, let's do planet 5 first, just for argument's sake. It is within good reach of planet 5. Just for argument's sake, so we go back to 4AU. We center ourselves on planet 5. We need to be a little bit down. There we go. And we hit the analyze button. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be an 8AU scan, but let's just check, just for argument's sake. Right, so we can now seriously tell that this is not within a 4AU scan. So sometimes what will happen is, if you look at your structures of your probes, it might be that it is within 4AU, but all these little dents in your probes, remember, they're not as perfect, a perfect sphere. So there's little gaps in between, so it might just sit in that gap, but there's no way of knowing that. So the best thing to do is to go to 8AU and then scan. This will happen maybe 1 out of 80 scans or something like that you'll get this. Right, so we can see there now that it is, yeah, it's about 4AU from there, but because it was sitting in an awkward spot on that planet, you can see it's literally just outside the 4AU scan. But I'll bet you, if let's warp there and I'll tell you how far that is. Let's warp there and we'll see how far that is. So you can literally see, if this was a perfect sphere, we will probably get it. But it is not as close as I thought. So it's literally just outside of 4AU, so it gives it 6.3. So that's probably why. We're gonna have to go somewhere safe because these rats will start to shoot me in a sec. So let's just warp there for a sec. Oh, here they go. Ooh. It's okay, we'll be gone. Right. So we're going to press F9 again to recall our map. So now that we got there again, we're going to click on the actual SIG. We're going to move our probes and center them from the top. Double click. Center them from the side. double click just to make sure. You can spin it around if you really want. Because we scanned on 8 AU, we'll now scan on 4 AU. This is skill dependent as well, so if you got really good scanning skills, you might be able to skip it. Okay, so we got 3%. This is going to be a really difficult scan. This is going to be a real difficult scan if this has not revealed itself by now. So we go down to 2 AU. Again, I'm just centering it on there, and I press the B key on my keyboard, and off I go. And I can scan it. Right, so this is going to be a right bugger to scan. So again, we're going to go in. Now that we're going smaller, we're going to zoom in a bit, because the closer we get that to center, the better. And you just use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out. So we just quickly tap the left mouse button, double tap it or double click, and you can look from the top or from the side. And we're at 1 AU, we're going to press the analyze button and we're going to analyze it, and hopefully it will tell us what it is and the scanning difficulty it's got. Oh, it's not, so this is going to be a right bugger. So this will probably be a 4 out of 5, which means this character will not be able to scan it. You're going to have a special ship and special stuff to scan it, and also have the skills to scan it. So we center ourselves again, and off we go. This is probably going to be something like a sleeper cache. Right, so we can see it's a level 5, like I suspected. And just for argument's sake, I'm going to keep scanning this. We will not be able to get this one, I doubt it very much. But we're going to see how close we get. So we're going to go down all the way to the smallest we can go. We're going to center a screen on it, and we're going to zoom in as much as we can. And we're going to center that the best we can, and we're going to analyze it. So, and see where we end up. So I think you should get about 60, 70, somewhere there. Right, we got 60, 63, which is not bad. So we can recenter it and just scan it again. And then I'm going to show you a trick that if your skills get better and you just don't get it, you're sort of in the 90s and you can't get the scan. Right, we're slightly up to 67. So you're going to get this when you just start off. And it's going to be quite frustrating because there's quite a lot of money in there and you can't get to it, you can't scan it. Now, one trick you can do is you can move your probes manually, well, sort of manually, by holding the control key and using the scroll button on your mouse and just, or the wheel, and just scroll it in and out. So what you want to do is you want to go in till about there, so they sort of just overlapping, and then you can analyze again. Now this will only give you a small increase. So, okay, it gave me 17% more, but I will not get it any better than that. So if you scan and say for instance you're somewhere 85% and above and you can't make the final scan, then this trick will help you to just give you that slight extra bit. You'll soon know if this ain't right. If you go two round like this and you analyze it, I'll go back down the other way. I'll just show you. Okay, did you see? So the probes is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and now I've gone down to 26%. So you don't want to go all the way around. You want to keep these. Let's go there. You want to keep these nice and about there. So you don't want it totally round, you just want it sort of just slightly bulging out, like that. And we'll just do it again just to make sure we haven't done it wrong. So you'll know when you go too far, because you'll start going, your percentage will go down instead of up. So yeah, we're about where we were before. We got 80 something, so that's about right. So you want to keep it just like that. So that's all I have for you in this video. If you want to know how to scan when you get different things, like when you scan the signature on 4AU and it goes into a wheel, or it goes into a line with 2 dots, or it goes into a smaller sphere, what to do, watch the big video, and that will show you in there. That's quite good for that. And then if you struggle with stuff, then watch these little snippets. I might just make one just on those, just to talk people through it. But thank you very much for joining me in this video. This is about as far as it goes for scanning. The next one we'll do will be on hacking. But thank you very much for joining me. Catch you on the next one.